So this right here, this is really bad lighting. And this right here is just a little bit better. The thing about lighting is it's very easy to get it wrong.
These lights are too far away. These lights are too close. This is definitely the wrong temperature. This is pitch black. This is not the right angle.
And that's exactly what I mean. Great lighting sets the mood, makes things look great, but bad lighting is like putting ketchup on a steak. No one's happy. So let's fix it.
First mistake that is super common to do is harsh lighting. Blasting someone's face with light washes out all the depth in the image. This might work for makeup tutorials or something like that, but for cinematic vibes, which is what we're going for, not the move. So instead what I would do is dim that ring light, move it to a 45-degree angle, and maybe use a diffuser to soften those skin tones, which is so key. By dimming those lights, we can also now increase the aperture and get that nice depth of field. Right now my camera is set to f2.2, I believe. Next up is wrong distance. If you're purposely trying to make your shot look really boring, then this is the right move to do, because by putting that light very far off, you're making the whole shot look so flat. So instead we try to keep the right balance between not having it too close but also not too far away. So we bring it a little bit closer, point it at the right angle again, and boom, instant change. You obviously don't want the light to be in the shot, but not too far from it either. And if anyone looks sick in your shot, it's probably the wrong color temperature. Setting the color temperature wrong destroys the skin tones completely, because you're basically mixing what should be warm skin tones with very cool temperature, or the other way around. This can of course be caused by the temperature of the lighting itself or by your camera setting. Now this looks much better. Everything looks cohesive and those Smurf vibes are kind of gone.
So before I actually show you how I light up my shots, let's talk about outdoor lighting. Golden hour is usually considered sunrise and sunset with soft and beautiful lighting. It can make everything glow and looks very beautiful.
Then we have blue hour, which would basically be if I was filming from about here. Everything is quite dark. It's right after the sun rises or the sun sets. It's that extra hour, 2 hours that we get when everything is kind of blue. It's quite moody, cinematic as well. Perfect for those late night summer vibes type thing.
This is an overcast situation. You can see the sky is pretty much all blue, but there's just one massive cloud here blocking the sun. So it kind of leaves this awkward situation where the sky is almost acting as the perfect diffuser. This right here is midday. It produces some harsh shadows and it can be a little bit tricky to play around with, but it can also be super useful if you want to make someone look quite bold or interesting. If you found this interesting, drop me a comment below and I'll make a full video diving deep into this topic. But for now, let's jump back into the studio and I'll show you how I light up my shots.
So this is what's helped me in every single shoot I go, and this is all you will ever need in terms of lighting. You'll need 3 lights, that's it. On this occasion when I show you the behind the scenes, this might look a little bit different, but once you understand the basic concept, everything is pretty much the same. First we have the key light. This is our most basic light, and this is used to light up the subject and kind of isolate the subject. Then we have the fill light, which is usually a softer light, and it's used to fill in all those shadows that the key light has created. So now the subject looks a little bit more even. If you just use the key light, your subject will look very harsh. And then lastly we have the backlight. This is usually used to make your subject pop and separate himself from the backdrop. So usually the key light and the fill light accentuates the subject, but ultimately you need something to make it look he's not stuck to the wall basically. So you can see step by step, by first avoiding the previous mistakes we made and applying these simple techniques, how you can nail your shots in the future. So here's where we started, and here's where we ended up. Lighting doesn't need to be complicated or super expensive, but it's non-negotiable if you want to make your videos look really good. For me, this process of setting up lighting and learning about lighting has been quite entertaining because I've done it so many times. It kind of helps me to think about what I'm going to be shooting next while I'm still being productive. And of course, take everything with a pinch of salt. I'm not a professional, I've not been to film school or anything like that, so this is pretty much everything I've learned from personal experience. And just in case you were curious, the light I'm using here, this is from Amazon, newer, pretty basic. It allows you to control the light, obviously the intensity, and the color temperature. So pretty basic, but it gets the job done for me. As well as 2 sets of Godox SL60 II. Obviously this video is not sponsored by them, but yeah, 2 sets of these with soft boxes. So of course it's pretty much like any other task in life. If you think it's boring and it's not useful,
probably not going to be very good at it.
So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. If you guys want to watch any more camera reviews or setups, please consider subscribing. There's a new video dropping every week on Tuesday. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.